Hello everybody! First of all, belated Merry Christmas and a very happy New Year. Boldog karácsonyt és boldog új évet. In my language, Hungarian. I wish you all. And this is gonna be my Christmas movie collection. I have a feeling this is gonna be a long video, so keep up with me. First, I would like to share and show my Christmas sweater. OMG Santa. I know him. I know him! That's right. What movie is that? It is Elf. Will Ferrell in Elf. I have this very special edition of Elf. This is what I wanted to start my collection with. Beautiful steel box or tin box, and they have all kind of goodies in there, if you can see. This is the movie. This picture frame, magnetic picture frame. They are gift tags, a sampler soundtrack. They should have included the whole soundtrack. That's kind of cheap. Couple. I don't know how many. Let's see. That many. Yep, 5 songs on it. That's all. And a little holiday stocking Elf. It's very small. I'm gonna take that out. On the top it says, "What's a Christmas, Graham? I want one." So I love this set. One of my favorites and one of my favorite Christmas movies as well. The next one I want to show is the Polar Express. I have this in a steelbook format. It's a beautiful steelbook. I love the atmosphere of this movie as well. I know the CGI is a little cheesy, but I love it. It's beautiful. And I love the music, soundtrack of it. And this is a stretch, but it is kind of a Christmas movie, and that's my only other steelbook, Edward Scissorhands. I also love this steelbook because it has a matte finish and it just has a special shine. Look at how beautiful. And the inside is cute. So this is my these are my 2 Christmas steelbooks. I also have the Nakatomi Plaza collection of Die Hard, and Die Hard 1 and 2 is a debate if it's a Christmas movie or not. I included in my collection to be all-inclusive. This one has all the movies on it, and I also have a really cool model of the Nakatomi Plaza, and this little set sits right on the bottom of the plaza. Maybe I'll do a video once on that. Also, not a typical Christmas movie, but I wanted to include this as well. Batman Returns with Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Keaton. Michelle Pfeiffer is one of my favorites, so I have to have all of her movies. I would like to have the 4K edition of this once it drops the price, but now I'm happy with the snap case, especially because I told you guys other times I like the inside artworks. It's pretty cool. Alright, let's head into the Blu-rays, my Christmas Blu-rays, starting off with Christmas Specials collection. This one has Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, The Little Drummer Boy, and Cricket on the Heart. I really love, one of my favorites is The Little Drummer Boy, but I really like Rudolph. I like all of them, but my favorite is The Little Drummer Boy and Rudolph. That's a classic. And of course, Home Alone. Very Christmassy, and I love the music in Home Alone 2. Is this an anniversary edition? I'm not sure, I thought this was, but it doesn't say. Lost in New York. I love both Home Alone movies, but maybe the first one is more Christmassy for me, but well, I don't know. I even have the Turtle Dove from the second movie. I can show you. And I gave the other one to my best friend, who's actually lives far from me. So the next one, Jim Carrey, Dr. Seuss, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. The Grinch Stole Christmas. That sounds weird. I thought it was The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. The Grinch Stole Christmas. It says How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Okay, I didn't see the how on there. I know something is wrong with that. Sorry. I really like the soundtrack also, and this can be a little bit over the top, but it's a fun movie. Next one, Fred Claus. I love this slipcover, very festive. Although it's a very old slipcover, and I just got this movie this December, and the sparkly, oh no, some just came off. Sparkly stuff on it is kind of breaking apart, so if you own this, be careful. Very cool slipcover. The movie itself, I've been waiting and waiting to watch this movie, and finally I got it this winter. I watched it, and I think my expectations were too high, so I have to watch it next time with a little bit lower expectations, and I think I will enjoy it much better. One of our Christmas staples with my husband, The Family Man. We watch this every single Christmas time. It's a beautiful story, a little bit funny but very touching. Great performances in there. It's a wholesome, good movie to watch. And Disney's A Christmas Carol. This is I think my favorite version of the Christmas Carol. I love the animation, and the atmosphere in this movie also is very Christmassy. I like the old world Christmas feeling. This is a new movie for me. I haven't seen this, The Christmas Blessing. I just got this at the past Dollar Tree sale, and I know that this is a sequel to the movie The Christmas Shoes, which I heard a lot of good things about, but I don't have that movie, so first I want to have that movie and watch that, and then I'll watch this. So the next one, Bad Santa 2. I should have gone in order, but Bad Santa 2, I got this at the Dollar Tree sale as well. It's not even comparable with the first Bad Santa. For $1 it was okay. This boy is kind of funny, but I think this movie lost its charm. And Bad Santa, I was very before I seen this movie, I was very standoffish to watch this movie. It just seemed very trashy, but I realized how much soul is in this movie, and I loved how the little boy was opening up the advent calendar, little doors, and reading about the Bible story, the nativity story. I like when they put a little bit of the true meaning of Christmas in these movies. And the whole change that Santa goes through is really touching and funny at the same time. There are some really raunchy parts of this movie which I guess pleases some people. Overall, I like it. Sometimes it gets a little bit too raunchy though, but overall it's a great movie. Next one is Arthur Christmas. This is a very cute animation about Santa, made by who made this, Sony Pictures Animation. I really like the beginning of this movie, how it shows the generations and generations of Santa. It's a fun adventure type cartoon. Next one is the Platinum Anniversary Edition of It's a Wonderful Life. This movie is one of the best Christmas movie ever made. I love this movie. This one has such a beautiful meaning and wholesome atmosphere. This edition contains the black and white and the colorized version as well. The black and white is original. It has a little extra charm to it, but I like the colorized version as well. Next one is Office Christmas Party. I got this movie this past December as well. I think this was a little bit over the top. I love most of the actors in this movie. Jason Bateman, Jennifer Aniston. I really enjoy their movies, so that was the selling point of this movie, but it was overkill for me. Maybe too high expectations. Trading Places. This is a classic, funny, a little bit too much stocks involved in this movie. I know this is the point of it, but sometimes I don't think there is enough explanation about the stocks and how those stocks works. So, but maybe that's just me. Like is that really how it happens when people go up in Wall Street and they're just yelling out? I don't know. It's just so hard to grasp what's happening. Who hears them when everybody's yelling? Or I don't know. It's just weird, but hilarious movie, awesome movie. I like it a lot. It's not very Christmassy, but I included in my Christmas collection. One of my other favorite Christmas movies is I think it's a very underrated Christmas movie, Surviving Christmas. This is the funny category again. I like Ben Stiller a lot as an actor, and he goes back to his childhood home and buys this family for Christmas because he's missing his family, and it's just funny. The next one is another staple, more Thanksgiving than Christmas, but this one is a Christmassy cover, so I included in my Christmas collection Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Look at the beautiful snowflakes. Very good movie, classic, funny and just entertaining. Next one, Winnie the Pooh, A Very Merry Pooh Year. Very cute, wholesome Pooh movie. Also, it's for the new year as well. It has a Christmas part and then New Year's Eve part story. Very cute if you like Winnie the Pooh. Another movie that's not a real Christmas movie, but it starts and ends at Christmas time, Serendipity. I also really enjoy this movie. This one has a nice atmosphere as well, romantic movie. This movie was one of my first DVDs I've ever bought. It will come up in my DVDs, so that's probably why it has a very special place in my heart. Next one is another staple, The Nativity Story. This is a beautiful retelling of the birth of Jesus and how could have been the reality with Mary and Joseph. If you haven't seen this movie and you're interested in the Bible and the true story of Christmas, I highly recommend this. Every Christmas I like to watch this as well. Also in this one, Joseph is Oscar Isaac, who plays in Ex Machina as well. He's a really good actor in this one also. The next movie that I have here is The Man Who Invented Christmas. I didn't see the whole movie yet. One day we started watching the movie with my husband, and we just got bored with it. Maybe we weren't in the mood. Usually I really like these movies that takes place in old times, but this one had like a funny undertone, like it was a little bit comedy, which was kind of weird in this setting. I don't know. Next one, Love Actually. This movie, especially where I come from, like in my country, in Hungary, this is a very staple, Christmas staple, and I've seen this many times. This is one of the first movie that was made with many storylines that connects. I love this movie as well. It's funny, it's touching, it has good music in it. So yeah, and a lot of great actors and actresses. Highly recommend that movie. The next one is Krampus. This movie is so weird, especially because in Hungary we have Krampus, but it's not a scary person like here. It's more like it's a little devil, but the playful kind of little devil that's right next to Santa. And when Santa he comes on December 6th, not on December 24th. He comes with these little Krampuses, and if you've been bad or you're on a naughty list, you get little sticks in your shoe instead of presents, and they are the one who deliver the sticks. So this was creepy, very, very creepy, but I like the whole concept with the little snow globes. There was some extremely weird parts of it, like with this type of creatures, but the beginning, it starts like just a normal family, dysfunctional family Christmas movie. So the beginning sold me this movie, and then it gets worse and worse and everything falls apart. So interesting. I have to rewatch it. I didn't rewatch it this year. Jingle All the Way too, with Larry the Cable Guy and this very, very cute little girl. I think she's really cute. I got this at the Dollar Tree. I put it on one day for background noise. It did its job as a background. I wouldn't put it on as a feature movie, but actually it was kind of cute and very low budget, but that's what I expected. It wasn't as lame as I thought it would be, so again, I had very, very low expectations and I had a positive experience. So those expectations, sometimes I have so high expectations and it ruins a good movie for me. Another one that I got at the Dollar Tree sale is Holiday Inn. I have not watched this. Shame on me yet. Classic. Very curious of it. I'll watch it if I get to it. I'm not a big fan of all the singing and dancing, so we'll see. The Nutcracker, The Untold Story. I know that this movie got terrible critics online. Still haven't watched it. I'm still thinking that it's not gonna be as bad as they say it will be. Also, they filmed it in Hungary, so I'm biased and I'm just gonna love it just for that fact. Maybe not, but there is a chance. The Santa Claus Trilogy. This is the new edition with the digital codes. I wish it would come with the 3 different artworks. There's no artwork on the discs either. I don't know why they don't do the slim cases for Blu-rays like they used to do with DVDs. I would appreciate it because I really like cover arts. But they didn't, so it's okay. I like them. They are not my favorite Christmas movies. Actually, I know very well the first one. I haven't watched the third one, and I watched halfway the second one, and again, my expectations were so low because I've heard so many lame things about it that actually it wasn't so bad. And next one is Gremlins. This is like Krampus, a little bit of horror-y comedy type of Christmas movie, not real Christmas spirit. This is the special quote slipcover from Walmart. Don't give them any water. It gets a little creepy, but also I like the beginning of this movie. Sometimes when a movie starts really nice, really cool, it sets the tone. Alright, that's it for the Blu-rays. I have one Blu-ray that I didn't show and I just thought of it, and that's my Nutcracker Steelbook. Nutcracker and the 4 Realms. The Disney Steelbook. I might grab it for at the end. So onto my DVDs. I have this 4-pack, Home Alone, A Christmas Carol, Jingle All the Way, and Miracle on the 34th Street, the 1994 version. See, this is what I was talking about. I like these slim cases with the original artwork. I have the Blu-ray of Home Alone, but I still enjoy this edition, not watching but just to look at the cover and his inside artwork. The good old days when they made quality editions. Christmas Carol. This one has inside artwork as well. Jingle All the Way. This is one of my other staple movies. Not for prime time, but when I decorate the tree, I put this on. As well as another movie that I tell you later. This one is one of those flipper discs that has full screen and widescreen edition. I might upgrade this when there is a chance. I find it cheap, but for now it's okay. It's not so bad. And Miracle on 34th Street. This one has nice inside artwork. Very cute movie. Typical 90s children's movie, 90s Christmas movie. And because I grew up in the 90s, it's just touches my heart and rings that nostalgia bell. So, and I have another box set just like that, another Christmas movie collection. This one's called Christmas Favorites Collection, the other's Christmas Classics Collection. And this one has Miracle on 34th Street, the original version, Deck the Halls, Home Alone 2, and Prancer. Miracle on 34th Street. I heard people picking this up at a Dollar Tree sale. I didn't find it, so I was looking for it. I would like to upgrade this to a Blu-ray, especially for $1. And this one only the colorized version, so would like to have the black and white as well, since that's the original. Then we have Home Alone 2. Again, this artwork is so much better than the Blu-ray's artwork. Let me see if I can quick do a comparison if I find it. Here you go. Home Alone 2 and Home Alone 2. What a difference. This is much more stylistic with it's the Empire State Building, I believe. Yes, and the newspaper, the New York newspaper. I just love this cover, and this is just the typical lazy cover artwork that they put on nowadays on movies. Blump, they just put on the main character's face and in the plain background. Not my favorite. And let me see. Here is Home Alone. This one is kind of lame too. If you compare it with the original, and these are the original poster artworks as well, much better. This one in the colors too just gives you that feeling that the movie, the atmosphere, rather than this new cover. So I like to have these older version just for the cover art's sake. This one doesn't really have an inside artwork. And Prancer, cute movie, good for kids. Not a primetime movie for me, but it's cute. Typical 90s movie as well. So Haven't watched it for a while. And Deck the Halls. This is a funny movie. I like this as well. This is a staple. This is the first movie I watch when I decorate the Christmas tree in the background. So every year I watch that one too. Gets a little crazy by the end. Sometimes these movies for me they a little bit go over the top. When near the end everything is just falling apart like crazy. Next movie I have is Jack Frost with Kevin Costner. I haven't watched this movie for a while. It's on my watch list to watch it yet. For me, the season didn't end yet. As you see, I have my Christmas tree up yet. I like to leave it up until the little needles fall, and that's when Christmas season ends for me. So I hope I can find time to watch Jack Frost, because I don't really remember, but this is again typical 90s Christmas movie, so I think I'll enjoy it again. I've seen this a couple of times, not many times, but I have to rewatch it. This one, I found this movie at Goodwill yesterday, sealed, brand new, and they had a 75% sale, so I got it for 75 cents. So I had to grab this one. Christmas in Wonderland. Patrick Swayze, one of his last movies. It's a very cheesy movie, but again, low expectations, and then it's very enjoyable. Again, an afternoon movie, not a primetime movie, good for kids. Some people compare it to Home Alone because the kind of booby traps, but it's set in a mall, set in a huge mall, so has a little bit of the Jingle All the Way feel to it too. So it's an entertaining movie, and as I said, Patrick Swayze is one of his last movies, and he's good in it. Also, they have this kid in the movie. I don't know if you can see. He is the creepy kid from Godsend and Birth. It's really interesting to see him in like a normal kid character. Next one is I've been seeking this movie everywhere. I've been looking for this movie. I never found it in a while, but online, eBay and Amazon, it was just always too expensive for a blind buy. But I was intrigued by the story and the cover. Yesterday I found it finally at Goodwill, and this is Noelle. This is a Paramount movie, so I'm really excited to watch this movie. It's about a priest who arrives in a tiny fishing village the week before Christmas to shut down a dying parish, and then he gets to know the villagers. And I like this is takes, I'm not sure when does it takes place. I think it takes place older times as well. What I've seen so far, I love the atmosphere of this movie, but I still have to watch it, so maybe next year I'll tell you what I think of it. Noelle will ring true in both your heart and your head. David Waugh maintains a lightness of touch and a generosity of spirit. Sounds good to me, and as I said, I don't know if you can see. It doesn't show up on the camera. This is silver. It just has a really nice, wholesome Christmas feel to this DVD. The next one is Merry Christmas, Joyeux Noël in French. I'm not sure, probably I said it wrong. This is one of my Hungarian DVDs that I brought over. Haven't watched it for a while. I loved when they used to have these see-through cases and had inside artworks. This is a very touching movie as well, about in a World War 1914, people, the enemy stop fighting at Christmas Eve. I think it's based upon a true story. Yeah, it's the First World War. It happened in the First World War. I have to rewatch that as well. Another wholesome Christmas movie is Max Lucado's The Christmas Candle. This is a very cute little story as well, wholesome. I wasn't crazy about the actors and actresses in this movie, but it takes place in an older time again, and it's about this priest who's struggling to believe himself and miraculous candles. It's a touching movie. I liked it. The next one, An Avonlea Christmas movie. This is a Canadian TV show special, Road to Avonlea. I love that series. It takes place older times again. It takes place a little bit later in time than Little House on the Prairie, but this one always went hand in hand, Road to Avonlea and Little House on the Prairie. So I enjoyed this Christmas special for this movie as well. And talking about Little House on the Prairie, A Merry Ingalls Christmas. This one has, I believe, 2 episodes, Christmas at Plum Creek and A Christmas They Never Forgot. I think they should include another episode. I remember an episode when, I'm not sure what's the title of that, but they had a blizzard at Christmas Eve and they end up in the church. Although it's a very sad episode because a lot of people die, but they should have included that as well in this edition. I have the whole series as well, so I can watch it, but this is a nice little edition when you don't want to look through all the episodes. Another movie that's not exactly a Christmas movie, but happens around Christmas, While You Were Sleeping, with Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman. Again, a very 90s feel to this movie, 90s rom-com. I enjoy these type of movies. And Here It Comes, Serendipity. This was one of my first ever DVDs, so I don't really want to get rid of it. It came with this cinema magazine. I used to love that bundle. You bought the magazine and it was wrapped with a movie, and this was a movie once, and very good surprise when I watched this movie because I really enjoyed it. Next is Noel. This movie is nothing like the cover. The cover shows kind of an uplifting, cheery, maybe touching movie with and Robin Williams and Paul Walker is in this movie as well. RIP, both of them, great actors. This is a very depressing Christmas movie, so it's nothing like its cover. I can't watch it too often. Very depressing. Millions is the next movie I'm showing. This cover is horrendous. It's so ugly. I don't even understand. This back is much better, the back picture. This movie is nothing like the cover. Inside picture is much better too. It's an English movie. Danny Boyle, who directed the 28 Days Later movie as well. He directed this one too. Very charming, very quirky little movie. This is, if you have a chance and you see this movie, I'm not sure what the American cover looks like, if it's this ugly as this Hungarian edition. I think the English, the American version has a better cover, but this is a very cute movie about this little boy who finds a bag of money and trying to decide what to do with, and it takes place at Christmas time. Another movie that's really not so Christmas movie, but I have it in my collection, and one of my guilty pleasure movies, Kate and Leopold. Time travel movie, takes place in nowadays and takes place back in time in the 1800s. Very cute story. I like it. It's a fun watch around Christmas time. Another rom-com for Christmas is The Holiday. What can I say? It's a fun little movie. Good for Christmas, for romantic comedy. Another one of our favorites with my husband is The Family Stone. This one is about a family, dysfunctional family at Christmas time, and it's a touching story, a little bit quirky, but very enjoyable, and kind of deep, has deep parts in it. So I also really like Sarah Jessica Parker and Rachel McAdams. Also, who is in this one? Like Luke Wilson. Yes. The next one, Christmas Story. This is not Ralphie's Christmas Story, which I would like to acquire in my collection, but I don't have it yet. This is a Norwegian movie, I believe, about the story how Santa Claus becomes Santa from when he was a child, how he grew up to be Santa. Very cute story. Next one is Christmas Oranges. This is, I think, a very unknown and underrated little movie, TV movie. Takes place again older times, which I like. A very wholesome and touching story. I like the setting and the atmosphere. I like this movie a lot. All I Want for Christmas. Again, typical 90s Christmas movie. And the boy is kind of the dorky boy from Dutch. He acts really dorky in this movie, but It's a cute little movie. The cover is kind of weird because they don't do anything like this with Santa. They're trying to get back their divorced parents to get them back together. They don't do anything with Santa like this. I don't know why they made that cover art for that movie. The Christmas Star. This is a forgotten Disney Christmas movie. It's nothing very good. I don't know. I haven't sat down and watched the whole thing from beginning to end. Last year it was in a background. It starts out in the prison, and this guy escapes from prison and he looks like Santa. I think they mistaken him as Santa. I don't know. I have to give it another watch. And 2 more and I'm done. The Christmas Miracle of Jonathan Toomey. This is a very underrated Christmas movie in my opinion also. I love this movie. Takes place in older times again, and wholesome Christmas story. I like this type of stories that's not all about the commercialism and not all about expensive gifts and money and arguing. A lot of these Christmas movies have these type of themes, and it's hard to find a really good wholesome Christmas movie that has a good story. And The Christmas Miracle of Jonathan Toomey is one of those rarities. I highly recommend if you haven't watched it yet. And the last movie is my favorite Hallmark type of movies. I don't think Hallmark made this, but maybe. The Christmas Card. Again, this is typical Hallmark movie, but better in my opinion, because this is my favorite so far as Christmas movies I've found. I think this is a little bit higher quality than just the everyday movies that are playing in Hallmark and Lifetime. Who made this? RHI Entertainment. So heartbreaking drama, very nice love story, again wholesome, and also I love the case that it's white and it has art inside too. So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, congratulations. I hope you liked my collection. Hope you found something new for you in it, and please give me some suggestions what movies I'm missing from my collection other than A Christmas Story and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which I'm planning to get those. Although National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is supposed to be such a classic, but for me it was last time when I watched a little bit over the top. But I'll have to give a second chance. So other than those, please let me know what else I should get. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had an amazing Christmas, and watch a lot of good Christmas movies. Bye.